My parents are first immigrants here, first generation, and it's amazing the opportunity I have to be able to have my voice heard.
And that is just one of the voters at the polls in Minnesota today. Ballots are being cast in 16 states and one territory for Super Tuesday, a pivotal day in the presidential primary race traditionally. Candidates have the opportunity to gain the most delegates today. There are big races across the country, but here we're focused on the presidential race.
On the Republican side, former President Donald Trump, of course, against Nikki Haley. And then for the Democrats, it's President Joe Biden and Minnesota Congressman Dean Phillips.
Fox 9's Rob Olson has been at the polls today, and Rob, not everybody thrilled with the options, and looks like it's been kind of quiet out there.
Yeah, a Super Tuesday that is missing kind of the super element of it for sure. Is a lot of voters figure that, well, this is a foregone conclusion about how this race is shaping up. At this particular polling place in Bloomington, just a short time ago we checked, 170 people had voted today, over 10 hours, 17 an hour, what that breaks down to. Went to another one nearby, a few miles away. They'd had more. That's a bigger polling place, still low. It's the expectations that turnout will be low, but those who are turning out feel that they certainly have a purpose for their ballots. At one of the larger polling places in Bloomington, St. Michael's Lutheran, by mid-afternoon they were close to logging only 200 primary voters.
I don't think we've ever missed voting, period.
Terry Peterson was one of them. Came to vote for Nikki Haley, thinking she might do well in Minnesota, still has an outside chance at the GOP nomination. He liked Trump's policies, he said, but not the chaos.
Just because of people like us that are very conservative people and really don't like the way Trump behaves and how many lawsuits he's been involved with, etc.
He's also very unhappy with President Biden, he says, convinced, though, that Biden will be replaced by Democratic leadership.
So Dean Phillips is still in there. Who knows? I don't know who the Democrats would pick.
But you don't think Joe Biden will make it to the general election?
I don't think he's going to make it. Nope.
But a lot of voters do see this primary as a bit anticlimactic, a done deal that Biden and Trump rematch already determined so early on. Low turnout is a reflection of that. So you came out today specifically so you could check the box saying uncommitted?
Yes. Absolutely.
But then there are voters like Turner Gunderson who came to vote for nobody, to express on a ballot a general dissatisfaction with what politics has become.
In the past, there were, conservative Democrats, liberal Republicans, like that was a thing, and it is not today.
He fears that a low turnout could get shrugged off as voters not caring, hopes that more show up to choose uncommitted to show that they very much do.
I think a lot of people in my generation are really sick of the game and just like, hey, we would like some other choices beyond the same old.
Now, there has been a big push in Minnesota in recent days for a big uncommitted turnout at the primary, much like there was in Michigan, where 100,000 people voted that way, as a protest against President Biden in the way that he's handled the conflict in Israel and Gaza, to put pressure on him, to put more pressure on Israel. So that has been a push for the uncommitteds here. In that voter's case, he said it was, again, a general dissatisfaction. So there'll be a lot of interesting numbers to pour through, not only how many people did turn out, but how many people voted for Nikki Haley or Dean Phillips or nobody at all, and what messages are they sending? Live in Bloomington, Rob Olson, Fox 9.
All right, Rob, thank you. And there is still time to cast your ballot. The polls close at 8 o'clock tonight. And if you're not registered, you don't have to worry. You can do that at your polling location today.